Welcome to Melissa Honey Speaks, where we chat about feminine magic, mindset, and manifesting. I'm your host and feminine magic guide, Melissa Honey. Welcome to another episode of Melissa Honey Speaks. On today's episode, we'll be talking about being authentic as a feminine goddess. So, as we know, last year was a crazy year, 2020, and this year has been kind of weird too. And so, over the past several years, I have really been thinking about how to live the best life I could possibly live, one that makes me happy, one that I can say, yes, I'm enjoying myself in life. So being more authentic. So over the past few months, I've been really focusing on how can I, as a feminine goddess, as a magic guide, how can I live my most authentic life? Because before I feel like I wasn't living as authentically as I could. I was maybe living a life where I was wanting others to be happy without considering myself or my own happiness and my own ideas about life. So I was living for other people and, kind of not being a people pleaser, but mostly just saying, okay, well, if they're happy, then I'm happy. If they're happy, then I'm happy. And that's not always the case. Sometimes there are things that you or that I or that the feminine god, that the feminine wants, that you are kind of holding back because you're maybe afraid of what people might think or what people might say, or just maybe you feel like there could be some backlash because what you want could be different from what societal norms might be, or different from the way you've been raised, different from your parents' beliefs or your spouse's beliefs or whatever. And you might feel like, well, I'm just going to go along with what everyone else is doing because that seems to be normal. But really under all of that, you may not be as happy as you want to be. So over the past few months, I've really been stepping out and really focusing on how can I live a more authentic life. And living a more authentic life is really just about standing in your truth. It's about deciding, it's like what I talked about in the previous videos, using your prayer, meditation, and mindfulness to really gauge what it is that you want in life. Praying about, what is my purpose in life? What do I want to do? How do I want to spend my time? How do I want to raise my kids? How do I want to enjoy partnerships with other humans? And really looking at it from a point of what will make me happy? What will I enjoy doing? When you do that, when you start taking actions in those things, what begins to happen is that the things that don't serve you begin to fall away. And that could be people, circumstances, ideas, jobs, friends, all kinds of things can begin to fall away. And it can be chaotic, and it can be sad sometimes. It can be disappointing. And you're looking at your life and saying, maybe I should go back to the way it was. But there's this point in time where you're deciding what you want till you get to when you start to make decisions based on your own truth, your own true happiness, where things could be a little bit rough and rocky because you are changing. That's the dissonance. So you're changing from your old paradigm belief, or what you used to just let happen, and now you're actually making a conscious effort to create the life that you want. And when you're doing that, you're standing in your truth, and things that were old and not serve you begin to fall away. And like I said, it can be disappointing sometimes because you're looking at the things that you once thought you loved, or that you liked, or that you enjoyed, that you really didn't. You only enjoyed it because maybe others said that that's the way it should be. So during that period of time when you're like getting over the hump, you get over the hump to the other side, and you find yourself being in a place where, okay, those things had to fall away, those things had to disappear, those things had to go away because they weren't serving me and my highest self and my best, and for me to live my best life. So standing in your truth is super, super important, because once I start to decide what it is that I really truly want and start taking actions towards those things, living powerful in my goddess self, when I step into my powerful self, I'm saying, I want these things, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. I like this, I enjoy this. These are the things that I am consciously deciding to do in my life and consciously deciding that I want. I feel more happy. I'm feeling more joyous. Things begin to come to me that felt like a struggle to get before. Partnerships, friends, circumstances, money, things that you, when you're struggling to try to fit in, they're not coming to you because you're not living your true self. But when you begin to live your authentic self, what happens is you begin to attract things you want because you're taking conscious effort to select, be more selective about what you want. Because you can make a list of, I don't like these things, but I like these things. And you start working on the list that you like, you become more happy, and those old things fall away. And then you might have to do that a few times in life, because every time when you evolve, of course, what you used to like last year, you may not like this year. What you liked when you were in your 20s, you may not like in your 30s, and what you like in your 30s, you may like in your 40s, and so on and so forth. But the idea is that if you're always being mindful and asking yourself, is this what I want at this time in my life? Is this serving me right now? And if your answer is no, then you can say, what do I want instead? And when you ask yourself, what do you want instead? Now you begin to live your authentic self. You begin to live in your truth. And when you do that, your life begins to get more brighter. You begin to enjoy life more. You begin to celebrate more. Everything is better because you're living in the truth of who you want to be, who you desire to be. And as a feminine goddess, I personally want to always be living in my best life. I want to always be deciding what it is that brings me joy and brings me happiness. That doesn't mean that I'll never have a day where I'm not happy or joyous, but it means that I can use my prayer and meditation, mindfulness, to really connect with my intuition and be more strategic about what I want. I want these things in my life. I don't like those things. And it's okay to say, you know what, I don't like that anymore. And be okay with that. And if you're okay with saying, I don't want that anymore, this is what I want, and stand on that, then you'll always be attracting the things that you want, the more money you want, the car that you want, the house that you want, because you're being more truthful to yourself. You're being more honest with what you desire in life, and you're being honest with everyone around you. Because once you get authentic, and once you start living your authentic life and being truthful to who you are, it's like magic. The magic begins when you begin to live your authentic life. Okay, so I want you to live your authentic life so that you can have all the things that you desire and live your absolute best feminine goddess life. That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in today. Please like and comment and share. And if you like our content, please subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Links below.